Greetings, everybody. My name is Tiffany Griffin. I come to you today to shed some light on another predatory pastor that is in the Texarkana region by the name of Jason Hatton, Pastor Jason Hatton of God's Ladder Church in Texarkana, Arkansas. It was recently brought to my attention, last year rather, not too much recently, that Jason Hatton pled guilty to first degree Class A felony sexual assault on a minor. He was a a substitute teacher at Arkansas High School in the city of Texarkana, Arkansas, where he was caught engaging in sexual behavior with one of his students. So maybe like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, I was given a file on Mr. Hatton, stipulating all of his conditions of his parole, his fee, and pretty much the docket for the day that he was in court. This is a circuit. This is from the Circuit Court of Miller County, Arkansas, the state of Arkansas versus Jason Hatton, the defendant. This is all of his legal documents in regards to that specific charge. The reason why I'm bringing you this information, I know what you're thinking, Tiff, why are you bringing me this if he was already brought up on charges? Because Texarkana, Arkansas failed in the case of the state of Arkansas versus Jason Hatton, and let me tell you why. The document, he was brought up on charges. He pled guilty to felony sexual assault of a minor, and instead of being filed away in the prison system so that he's not no more a detriment to other children, he was given a slap on the wrist. And it was signed off by a judge by the name of, and again, I'm not familiar with any of these people. I've never met Jason Hatton. I just recently found out that his wife is a relative of mine that I've never, ever met. The order from the Circuit Court of Miller County, Arkansas, 8th Judicial District, South 1st Division, the state of Arkansas versus Jason Hatton, it states that now on this 6th day of March, the court hearing, having reviewed the assessment report dated February 22nd, 2017, is in agreement that Jason Hatton does not fit. Let me repeat that. Jason Hatton does not fit the criteria as a sexually dangerous person. This was signed off by the Honorable Carlton D. Jones, Circuit Judge. Again, I've never met Mr. Jones. I've never met Judge Jones. I have no idea who this man is. But this man, Jason Pastor Hatton, has pled guilty to penetrating a child who was a student in the school where he worked. And for whatever reason, Judge Carlton Jones state that he does not believe that Jason Hatton is a detriment to the society and a sexually dangerous person. I have been told over the years that Texarkana is extremely biased when it comes to prosecuting men of the cloth. I have been told this several times. A lot of victims say they do not wish to come forward because they know that they will not receive justice, and what they will get in return of justice is ridiculed, being vilified, and being just ostracized by the community, specifically the church community. This right here, this document proves that what these victims saying are right. On the second page of this document, this is the plea and waiver. This is Jason Hatton's signature. And if you read page 2 of this document right here, you will see number 2 says that I am not innocent of such said charges, and I did in fact commit the crimes in which I was charged with and guilty, therefore beyond a reasonable doubt. And his signature is right here on this page. He is admitting. Now, let me break something down to you people. Jason Hatton has 2 stories floating around, his accounts of what happened. One account that he told his parishioners, his members, his congregation, is that he never penetrated the child. He was just in the room with the child when it happened, when a friend of his or another adult, whomever, was penetrating the child. According to this document, he's lying. And I know that he probably feels comfortable telling this lie to his members, his parishioners, his congregation, is because very few people probably have access to what I'm reading here. He also states that the girl had a crush on him, and because the girl had a crush on him, he was fired and charged for sexual assault. Both accounts sound like straight up bullshit to me. Number one, it is highly illegal And it just does not happen for the judicial system to charge you because somebody has a crush. That's bullshit. Secondly, if you're in the room while a child is being penetrated, like I've stated before in my other videos, what type of mental and cognitive problems or fortitude that you have that you're comfortable watching a child be penetrated by an adult? Like I stated before, I know meth heads and heroin addicts that wouldn't be comfortable with such said things. There are alpha males watching this video right now who would not be comfortable being in a room with a child being penetrated by an adult. But Jason Hatton, you're stating that this is your account of what happened. The charges that you were brought up on is Class A felony sexual assault. You stated by your own signature on these documents that I have right now that you are 100% guilty. So please explain to me why the state of Arkansas dropped the ball. This man was not held accountable. In fact, he was given 6 years probation. 6 years probation, which is nothing. I know people who were picked up in the raids, the drug sweep, that got a hell of a lot more than that just for selling dope, not touching a kid. But this man gets 6 years probation for sticking his penis inside a child, which is exactly what happened because that is what he admitted to out of his own mouth. I don't understand. And the only reason why I'm bringing this information to you, Texarkana, Arkansas, is because you parents who are out there who have children within arm's reach of this man need to be armed with this information. So I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to leave my email address inside the description box of this video. If you know a parent or you are a parent of a child who is within arm's reach of this man in the Texarkana region, you send me an email and I will send you these documents to your email so that you can see them for yourself. This should be public knowledge for anybody who is able to keep their kids safe from this man. What is it going to take, God's Ladder Church? What is it going to take, Texarkana? What is it going to take, Judge Carlton Jones, for another little girl to come and say that she was violated by this man? Then what, somebody's going to step up and do something then? I consider that medicine after death because he admitted to what he was doing and he got nothing. You guys are known. Legislators in the Texarkana region are known for being biased when it comes to these men, specifically and more so in Arkansas than in Texas from what I'm hearing. And Judge Carlton Jones, you proved that by giving this pervert a slap on the wrist. Now, I know other people who were probably, I don't know them specifically, but I know that there are other people who have stood before you in a court of law, Judge Jones, and you have thrown the book at them for crimes that they committed or that they allegedly committed. And rightfully so. If you're guilty, you deserve to face the punishment, right? Okay. But what did you do when this specific case, when the man admitted to doing it? You gave him a slap on the wrist. He was not sentenced to any days in custody. He may have served 1 or 2 for preliminary, but he didn't get any serious prison time. And that doesn't make sense. I don't understand. These parents have a right to know. And Pastor Hatton, you owe your members an obligation to keep their kids safe. Now, I know you have a whole bunch of people on this who is probably watching this who are going to come out caping for you because you're the man of God and you're their brother in Christ and blase, blase, blase. But guess what? Your victim who you penetrated is my sister. I'm not in Christ, but they're also your sister in Christ for the Christians who are watching this. And you guys owe her and any other victim out there who's been victimized by this man, either past, the present, or maybe even the future. You owe them an obligation to keep them safe from this monster. This man is diabolical. Who takes a position in the school to teach and educate children, who is a mandated reporter, only to come in and stick their penis inside a child? You look at a child and you see a sexual object. You are a disgusting human being, and you definitely need to be held accountable. But since the Arkansas judicial system has failed to do so, parents, you might as well take it in your own hands and just know that this man is around, spread the word, and just keep your kids away from him so that he does not have access to any more victims. That's the best we can do because Arkansas failed. They didn't deem that this victim who came forward, they didn't deem her worthy enough to put this man away. And I am just completely disgusted by this. This file that I have has a lot of information in it about Pastor Hatton. And if you want a copy, like I stated, you email me and I have a scanned copy that I will forward you so that you can see for yourself. Parents, please, please, please keep your children away from this monster. He has no scruples. And in my opinion, and I do not know, but I'm willing to bet this all happened prior to him marrying his wife that he's currently married to now. And not understanding how a woman can forego all her femininity and her womanology, for lack of a better word, and side with a man who penetrates a child, when we're victims. Black women are 4 times more likely to be victims of sexual trauma than any other demographic on this planet. And you will forego that for the sake to be a first lady? Lady, you got self-esteem issues and you need help. For you to condone this type of behavior, and you can't say you didn't know, because this right here is proof right here that your husband pled guilty to penetrating a child. I don't know what to say. The only thing I can say is, parents, please, 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 please email me so that I can send you this document so that you can keep your kids safe. If you need proof, I'm telling you right now, but a lot of people may not believe me and think that I'm coming for the man of God, which is not true. I'm only coming for pedophiles, anybody who is a detriment to children. So if you need to see this document for yourself, please feel free to hit up my email that's in the description box of this video, and I will shoot it to you. You need this information so you can keep your kids safe. He shouldn't get another dollar in that collection plate. When you fund him, when you put money in that collection plate at God's Ladder Church, you are funding pedophilia. And I'm just going to put it out there. Because there's also in this document a list of fees that he has to pay to the state of Arkansas for penetrating a child. They put a dollar amount on that little girl's innocence. I am disgusted. Please hit me up again. My name is Tiffany Griffin, and parents, please keep your children safe from these pedophiles. Ashe.